you who are new to this group, Mackenzie, Dixon, ERA Lambros. Born and raised in Northern California. I've been in Missoula for 17 years. I came here on a soccer scholarship and then met a fifth generation Montanan and never left. So very, very fortunate to be here. Been selling real estate for over 10 years and only job I've ever had in Missoula. So very, very happy with it. So I thought what I would do today was kind of talk about the state of Missoula, kind of addressing what you had asked me to talk about, and then hopefully have some questions for something that you asked about, Carly. I've been talking about, everybody wants to know how's the market? Well, we'll talk about how Missoula is doing in general. The majority of this information is pulled from the Missoula Organization of Realtors Housing Report. Which is public, so if anyone wants a copy of that, I can send it to them. And it's really my interpretation of those stats, and that report is interpreting stats from Missoula as well. So Missoula County is at 116,000 people right now. So not sure if anybody knew that. What affects population? Population is birth, death, and net migration. So anyone know what net migration is?
People moving in and out.
Yep, so it's a positive number based off of people moving in and people moving out. Net migration is up 86% from Missoula. So then we go into how does that affect the housing market, okay? So people are moving in generally from the west. The only way to really figure this out is by looking at tax returns, past addresses, where people own property, stuff like that. So that's our best guess that the majority of the people are moving in from the west. All right, so birth and death is up 378 or something like that. So that's that positive number out of that 116,000 for last year. So this places an increased demand on housing and rentals. So the largest population of Missoulians are 18 to 24 years old.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So, and as we know, that is going to be the largest population across the world. So the United States has 71 million millennials, okay? At the highest point, there were 74 million baby boomers. So since some of them have left, millennials will be the largest generation that we are faced to deal with, okay? And we're kind of almost millennials too. We want to pretend we're not, but we are. Okay, so I am a numbers person. Numbers matter. Don't usually read off notes, but I just want to make sure that we're kind of getting it right. So median price home is $315,000 in Missoula. So the Missoula Organization of Realtors housing report is gathering data from 2016, 2017, compiling it in 2018, publishing it in 2019. So that would say that we're closer to 296,000, but February 2019 median price home is $315,000. Okay, so what does that mean? So for the affordability, let's go back to income. So median household income for Missoula is $46,000, and that's of somebody who owns a home. Okay, median household income of somebody who rents, $31,000. All right, so there's a large gap there. For someone who's putting 5% down on, let's say, a $300,000 house, and this is just like general blanket statement, but they need to make $64,000. So right there we can see there's an affordability problem. Okay, we're going to go into income, and then we'll go into supply. Okay, and so what houses are available for those people. So if you're going to put 20% down, you can have $45,000, which is less than the median household income. So we see if you can put more money down, in turn have a lower mortgage, you have to make less. All right. So how does net migration affect that? In my opinion, you're having people moving in from other states that maybe they're even making the median income here, but the house they sold Somewhere else, they have more buying power because of the cash that they have to put down. So instantly, if they have 20% down due to the equity profit that they had on their sale from a different state, they have more buying power in our market. Okay, so 17% of our buyers of this closed sales last year were cash, which is a significant amount. Does anyone have any questions so far on anything that I've said? Okay, another interesting thing. So we said that the median household income is $46,000. That's low across the country. Doesn't really surprise us. That's below average for the state of Montana. And for one of the highest growing markets in the state, that's concerning. Okay, so our median household income is below average for the state of Montana. Which
That's because of the kids, right? The millennials.
could be.
Yeah, go hand in hand.
Because they're not making money.
Yeah. So, okay. So where to go from this? So cost burdened. So that's the affordability part. So how do people get ahead? How do people sock away money? How do people? It's difficult to put yourself in a position to buy a home currently. We call cost burden is people that spend more than 30% of their income on housing. And that's just on housing. I mean, Matt would like to see total debt. You know, we know that we have a student loan problem. You know, we have a lot of consumer debt problems, but total debt, nothing over 40% maybe, 40.
Oh man, I can stretch a VA loan up into the 50s, but it's probably not a good decision financially.
Yeah.
But anything 45 and under is very workable for me.
Okay, and that's total debt. So housing 30% or more, if you're spending 30% or more of your income on housing, you're considered cost burden. A quarter of homeowners spend more than 30% on their house. Okay? 50% of renters spend over 30% on their housing. So, you know, that's a situation that they're put in by not being able to buy, many reasons. Okay? So that's just something interesting to consider. So now we're going to talk about the supply. So if this is what is going on with income, it's important to know as employers, and if you're trying to bring people in or why people are leaving, it's because there really isn't an appealing equation from what you make and what you can afford. Okay? And that is really coming from the migration of people in and the available homes that there are for them. Okay? And these people who cannot find homes due to the low inventory are renting, which are making these people who are already cost burdened, that the rental market even less affordable. Okay? Any questions so far? So these are just some stats on number of houses sold in certain price ranges over the last 10 years versus last year. Okay? So $0 to $150,000. So if you want to buy a $150,000 or less home in Missoula, in the last 10 years, we averaged around 196 sales a year. Okay? Last year there were 82. Okay? 150 to 200,000, 387 over the last 10 years. That's roughly what it was every year, give or take probably 20. And last year 172. So we can go on and on. The largest jump once we start going up is 200 to 275, which in the years prior was the median sales price. So it went from 247 to 604. Okay, so that's where people are buying the most houses. All right, let's jump all the way up to $500,000 and higher. You know, we rarely see those. Who's buying those? All that. So last 10 years, roughly 20 homes a year sold for over $500,000. Last year, 100. So, I mean, these are the people, I mean, I interpret that as a result of the net migration. Okay, I don't feel as if industry in Missoula is improving that rate, and we've just developed all these higher paying jobs. Okay, 350 to 425, we saw about 42 sales a year. Last year, 200. Okay, so the higher price ranges are having more sales, but there's less demand for those. And the lower price ranges are having fewer sales, almost getting cut in half. And that's really because sales are down and prices are going up.